And boom, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, glad to have y'all back on. We got a special guest today, Mr. David Grace. How you doing, bud?
Doing as well as I can, my man.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
good. That's good, man. So I've known about you for a long time now. I've seen you around the bars and honky tonks around Galveston County, getting up there singing, doing your thing.
Yeah, man.
And of course, I knew you as the football star in 2002, 2003?
2001.
2001.
I wish it was 2003.
Damn it, boy. Yeah, so I believe, so I graduated 07.
Okay.
So I'm a few years behind you. But yeah, man, I remember you went A&M Kingsville, right?
Right.
10-4, how was that?
Man, it was an experience. I'll say that. Definitely a culture shock, coming from Santa Fe, a small town, and then, obviously going to college and playing with, great players.
Mm-hmm.
And the town of Kingsville is just a different city, It's something else. It's something different down there, man. But learned a lot. A lot of great experiences, met a lot of great people that I still keep in touch with today. And it was a good decision for me to go there.
Good, man, good. So did you end up staying all 4 years? How long did you play?
Yeah, I did. I was a 4-year letterman there from 01 or 02 to 05. Got my bachelor's degree in kinesiology. And then I stayed on and got my master's degree in psychology, and then I coached for a year.
Wow. Wow, see that I didn't know. That's why I like doing this shit, man. Learn new stuff about new people. So that's cool. So did you ever pursue the kinesiology psychology degree route post college?
No.
I don't know. Zero interest or
well, the thing was, I've always been a goal setter, and when I was probably 19, 20 years old, I decided I wanted to be a college football coach. Not a high school or anything. I wanted to be a college football coach. So I set my degree plan up, and I asked what I needed to do, and, just followed the plan the whole way through, and I was planning on being a college coach. Coached for a year, did really well at it. When I graduated with my master's a year and a half later, I had a couple of job offers, coming out, right out the gate at 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
And, but the music thing was there, and it was my opportunity. It's like, you're going to try this out, or you're going to start a career.
Yeah.
So I'm always the road less traveled guy. So I took the music.
You chased the dream, huh?
Chased the dream, man.
So when did you start playing music?
Man, I was actually about 20 years old. I never really touched an instrument or anything.
Yeah.
My family, my mom and my dad, they're both phenomenal singers. My dad is just awesome steel guitar player, but he can play anything with strings on it. And he did the whole Houston circuit for 30 years with the band. And so I was always around all the time.
Music always in the heart, right?
Right. And, my dad, man, he tried to get me in the guitar lessons and tried to teach me to steel, how to sing, all that stuff. And when I was younger, I was just straight into sports, man.
Yeah.
Just football, baseball, whatever I can get into as far as all that stuff goes. And but I always loved music. I mean, I went to all my dad's shows that I could go to. Mm-hmm. Went to church every Sunday. My mom sang in the choir out there. So I always loved music. I loved being around it. Up until I was in college, I just never really had the idea of playing or singing or anything.
So what changed? What happened in college?
I don't know. My dad gave me a banjo when I went to college. And he's like, here, take this. And he showed me 3 chords on it. G, C, and D on the banjo. And then he showed me how to finger roll. And he goes, when you get bored in college, he goes, just sit there and play these 3 chords and finger roll, if you want to. I'm like, all right. So and I did, I'd get bored. So I sit there and I got really good at, finger rolling. It came really quick, But that's just from my parents being so good, me learning so quickly. But, did that. And then, I started singing, and my roommates were like, hey, man, you can actually kind of sing a little bit.
Not half bad, huh?
I'm like, yeah. I was like, I guess so. I don't know. And I started playing at we had a trailer in college, and I swear.
that sounds like a fun story.
Oh, man, it's that thing's like a historical landmark these days. But, so we're at the trailer, and I actually wrote a song about it. We were there, and we're just having a little party, drinking beers, hanging out with some friends. And I learned a couple songs, in a couple weeks. And I was playing them and stuff, and, all the girls are, oogling over me and stuff. And my buddies are like, man, he's like, you should get a guitar, Dave. It sounds way better than a banjo. I'm like, well, I don't know how to play a guitar.
Yeah.
And they're like, learn how to play. I'm like, all right. So my dad also gave me a chord chart, like a guitar chord chart. It's just one little page, and it showed you all the progressions and, relative minors and all that stuff. So I was like, all right. So I went to the pawn shop in Kingsville. I walked in and I was like, I needed the cheapest guitar here. And he goes, right there, it's $50. I was like, I'll take it. So went home, started practicing on it. And 2 weeks later, I played an open mic. Yeah, it came that quickly to me.
Wow.
And I'm not a guitar player by any means. I can get around the neck.
Yeah,
but
you just strum and sing along to it.
I just picked it up really quick as far as just the progressions and knowing where to go on certain things. Mm-hmm. And so that's pretty much how I got into it right there. Just trying to impress chicks, I guess that's where it came from.
A story as old as time right there.
Yeah. So, but like once I started playing guitar, I really got into the whole music thing and writing and all that stuff. So yeah, man, it happened pretty quickly and caught on really quick, and I guess the rest is history.
10-4, yeah, man. And I know Kingsville's down there right by Corpus, right?
Right.
Corpus got a great Texas country music scene.
They do, man.
Yeah.
They really do. But see, back, way back when I was in college, it was just then getting popular. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what Texas country, was until, excuse me, until I moved to Kingsville. And my roommate, he actually gave me a Adam Carroll CD, a CD.
CD, yes.
And Adam Carroll, he's just a songwriter, storyteller. And I kind of fell in love with it. I was like, man, this is really cool. This is better than the radio.
Yeah.
And then after that, he gave me a Kevin Fowler CD. And my first song I heard from Kevin Fowler was If These Old Walls Could Talk.
Oh, yeah.
So I listened to that, and I'm like, how is this not on the damn radio?
Exactly.
Like, this is better than anything on the radio. Mm-hmm. So after that, I kind of got into the whole Texas country thing.
Yeah.
Like, as far as liking the music and all that.
Absolutely, man. That's kind of the same epitome I had, right, but it was probably around the same time that you were getting into it. I was as well, but I was 14 years old,
Right.
And
thanks for the old joke. Appreciate that.
Yeah. But same thing, man. First, the Ragweed CDs, the Charlie Robinson, the Robert Earl Keen, and of course those guys were playing the county fair, Galveston County mm-hmm. Fair, and making the circuit there. So everybody that came every year, who's playing the county fair, that was always a big thing for us growing up. So that's really cool, man. So from 20 to 22, that light switched, and you said, no more coaching. Let's go with music.
No, 2022, I just I was just learning music, mm-hmm. and I was getting into the learning songs and learning different things. And I grew up traditional country. That's all my dad played. So that's how I started playing was, that style of music, that traditional sound. And I really didn't give much thought, like as far as pursuing it until it was like my senior year of college, like 2005, I think. And I actually got a call from a guy because I cut a little demo CD. Man, I wish I still had that thing. But it's just me and a guitar, and I just cut a bunch of cover songs, and I would just give them to people to listen to, And we were at a bar in Corpus. I can't remember the name of it, but we walked in, nobody was there. We got to talking to the owner, and somehow singing and playing got brought up. I was like, yeah, actually, I got a CD if you want to listen to it. He's like, yeah, bring it in. We'll put it on the PA. And I was like, I don't know what PA is, but okay. I really did. I didn't know what anything was. And so I walked in there, and I played it for him. And he's like, wow. He's like, what are you doing next weekend? I'm like, I got a football game on Saturday. That's about it. My last one, mm-hmm. or second to last one or something. I'm pretty sure it was my last one.
Last home game or something.
Yeah. And he goes, well, do you want to open up for, God, who was it? Johnny Rodriguez. And I was like, really? I was like, open up. And I was like, what is it? What does that mean?
Open the door for him?
Yeah. I had no idea. He's like, yeah, you played before him for about 45 minutes. It was him and one other person, like a 80s guy.
Yeah.
That I was a big fan of. I just can't remember off the top of my head. It's been a long time since I told this story. But so I was like, well, man, it was my last football game, because I told him, I was like, well, man, it's my last football game I'm ever going to play, Like, I'm pretty sure I'd need to be there for that. And he's like, well, he goes, make a choice. He goes, if you want it, you got it. I'm like, damn. So anyways, I didn't end up doing it, but,
that got your mind thinking about it.
It got me thinking. I'm like, well, I was like, is it that easy to get shows, or get, that kind of thing? So I started doing some more research on it, and, how you get started and all that stuff with the booking. And I'm a research guy.
Yeah.
So I always
not a plan ahead. Not a terrible thing.
Yeah. So, and that's from that point is when I was like, I might be able to do something with this, because he's going to pay me money to sing into a microphone. And I said, I'd like to do that rather than go sit out in the heat, the 110-degree heat in Kingsville, Texas, and coach
football. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely got my wheels turning on that, and that's pretty much how it started, man. I finished my master's degree, and I moved to New Braunfels for a little while just to take some time off, man, because I went 6.5 years of school. Just I got it done as quick as I could, and I went there, lived there with my friend John Tarpoff, who I played ball with in Kingsville. He was living there. So I moved in with him. He had a 1-bedroom apartment, and I bought a futon, put it in the kitchen. That was my room for about 7 months. And then after that, I was kind of getting into the playing thing. I was playing a couple little local spots down there, and I was actually a personal trainer for like a day job, And after that, I got a hold of some friends down in Houston, and they were like a cover band, down here, a little 3-piece acoustic show. So I ended up moving back to Houston, hooked up with them. I worked a little plant job for a while just to get some money, and finally I was like, I can't do the plant thing, man.
Yeah,
can't do it. So I actually hooked up with them. I was like, hey, and I had enough money in the bank to get by for a while. I was like, I'm just going to come along with y'all for a month, and just, I'll sit in and play a couple songs, when you're on a break or whatever, and I'm going to try to book some shows. And they're like, yeah, man, come on. And they're playing 4, 5, 6 nights a week, at all these different venues around the Houston area. I'm like, cool. So I did that for a month. I mean, like I said, 4 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And what I would do, I'd go in there, I'd play one or two songs, and then I'd talk to the manager after that, and they were like, well, let's book you a show for next month. I'm like, yeah, cool, let's do it. And these are 4-hour shows, like the cover band stuff. So it's like 9 to 1 or 10 to 2 or whatever. So you have to have a lot of material. I went this whole month, and I booked 27 dates in May of 2008. That was my first month I started doing it. 27, it was almost every day.
Wow.
And it was getting towards May, and finally I was like, I don't have enough material for 4 hours, and I don't even have 2 other people, because I kept telling them I had a 3-piece, but I didn't have a 3-piece.
You're just gonna figure it out.
I was gonna figure it out. So within like 2 weeks, I found a bass player, Ken Harms. He was my first ever bass player, and this guy named Eric Eads, one of the best vocalists I've ever heard. He would sing harmonies with me. So, we got together. I learned freaking 40 songs, and.
What is that like? I mean, sitting and learning those songs, I'd be stumbling over. I'd be mixing songs up and everything else. I mean, what is that practice?
Yeah, just repetition, man. Yeah. Really. And a lot of the songs I was singing already, pretty much knew them, just from coming up. Like I said, I was doing all the Texas country stuff, which I listened to all the time, and then the traditional stuff, the Willie Nelsons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, learning them, that's a lot of songs to learn in a short period of time.
Absolutely, man. Golly.
But then we actually put a show together. Like, it was good, And I wasn't much of a guitar player, and Ken he's a great bass player, but he plays guitar, bass, whatever. Mm-hmm. But so I had like a lead bassist. So I would play rhythm, and then he would do like a lead on the bass on stuff. It was different. You know? And then we had really, really good harmonies. Eric did my harmonies on my first record, and came out really well. But that's how it kind of got started, man. I just kind of threw it all together, and May 1st of 2008 is when it all got started, man.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's a cool story. That really is. Man. When did The Voice come into play?
That was, I don't even know what year it was.
That was around that time, man.
I think it was 2012. It was season 2, whenever that was. We can Google it.
Yeah, I got a Google.
Yeah, it was 2012. Actually, how that came about, I was never big on the competition shows and all that. Just I was never into it. And
2012.
Is that right?
Air date February 5th, 2012.
There you go.
Man.
Good guess, huh?
Memory like, it's almost like you got 40 songs in your head or something, man. Memory like that.
Oh, man. My manager at the time, Ronnie Bennett, he was really pushing the issue, try out X Factor, try out, this, try out that. And I was like, nah, man. I was like, that ain't my thing. I don't know. But he must have emailed somebody from The Voice or something. I don't know. But The Voice actually emailed me. And they're like, hey, we're coming to Houston this date. We want you to try out. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I replied back. I was like, I really appreciate the offer. I'm not about, and I'm very appreciative. Blah blah blah. Try to be as nice as I can. And I'm like, I don't want to stand in line for 24 hours and get up there and be fatigued. I ain't going to give you all my best performance. All that. Yada yada.
Yeah.
Making excuses pretty much. And they go, oh no, we'll set you up a private deal, a private audition at a Sugar Hill studio.
Just show up and play.
And I'm like, so at this point, I'm like, well, all right, So I emailed back. I was like, so I just walk in and walk out? I go, yep. He goes, you be in and out in 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'll try it out. So I show up. So I'm driving up there, and I don't really care, And I pull into the parking lot, and there's like 200 freaking cars there. I'm like, I was this close from turning around.
Yeah.
I was like, screw this, And I was like, just walk in and see what the deal is at least.
Yeah.
So, I got my guitar, I'm walking in, and there's 2 big security guys there. And I guess they had a picture of my face or something. And they're looking at the page, looking at me. And they're like, you David Grace? And I went, yeah, that's me. Like, all right, follow us. We're waiting on you or whatever. I'm like, all right. So I walk in, people everywhere. Big long line to the studio part. The chairs everywhere filled up. And I'm just walking through everybody. And I'm like, man, I bet you all these people think I'm an asshole.
Pissed off.
I'm like, this is... So I felt bad, And then this one girl, she was about to go in to do her audition. And the security guy stopped her and goes, wait a minute. This guy has to go first. And she was like, what the...
She's probably thinking, who the
and
hell
I was
is
like,
this?
I'm like, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. And it's funny because she actually ended up getting on the show later on.
Yeah.
But, I went in there and did the audition and, did that thing. And, I walked out. Everybody was looking at me like I was a dickhead, which was okay. But they're like, yeah, we'll call you in 2 weeks if you made it. I was like, cool, sounds good. Didn't think twice about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a show one night, and some weird number calls me. I didn't answer because I never answer numbers I don't know. I left a voicemail. I'm like, hey, this is so-and-so from The Voice. Give us a call back. And I was on a break, and I was like, all right. So I didn't even remember that they said they'd call. No, they said they would call and tell us if we did or didn't make it. That's what it was.
So you're fucking getting the call.
Yeah,
didn't
so I
make
was just
it.
like, all right. So I call them, and they're like, well, congratulations. You made it to the top 225 or whatever it was. And I went, really? I was like, well, now what? And they're like, oh, we're going to fly you out next week. And I went, well, I was like, I have shows booked for like 6 months. I said, I play like 4 or 5 nights a week. I was like, I can't just cancel these shows. I'm like, how long am I going to be there? She goes, just a week. And then if you make it after that, we'll tell you the next step. And I was like, so I got to cancel a week of shows? I was like, I do this for a living. And they're like, well, you got to take the chance or you're not. And I'm like, well, all right. So I ended up canceling the shows. Went on the 225 thing, and man, it was a weird experience, man. It was fun. I met a lot of cool people, but man, you talk about just talent.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I was getting into when I went up there. I mean, everybody is just badass.
Yeah.
Just from every genre of music and just talented people. I mean, I didn't even think I needed to be there.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know what I get myself into. But it was fun, TV's TV. We did about 15 minutes of work a day. And then the rest of the time, we just didn't do anything. Sat around and, everybody had their little kumbaya circles and all that stuff.
All playing together and that all mess.
Me and my buddies that I met were just at the bar drinking beer. That's all we did. My boy Neil Middleton and Stuart Mann from Statesboro Review. You heard of that band?
I have not, no.
Oh, they're great, man. They're out of Austin.
Yeah?
You'd like their stuff.
I'll have to check it out.
But I met those two guys there, and that's all we did every day. We'd do our little 15 minutes of, the film roll and all that stuff, and I'd work out for like 2 or 3 hours because I was just bored. And I'd get done and I'd call one of them. I'm like, hey, I want to go to the bar. Because we couldn't leave the hotel. Mm-hmm. So like we were confined to this hotel.
Yeah.
And that's all we did for a week. And, we all got done with the week and we did our auditions and all that. And they told us, all right, well, if y'all make it to the top 125, we'll give you a call. We'll call you either way.
Yeah.
So, I was saying my goodbyes to everybody. I'm like, I don't know if y'all ever see me again, but great meeting y'all.
Yeah.
I'll keep up with y'all. So they called, and I, made it through the next round. And I called Neil and Stuart. I'm like, y'all make it through? They're like, yeah. I was like, man, me too. I was like, sweet, we can still hang out. So after that, we were there for 6 weeks in L.A. It was pretty cool. L.A.'s cool, I guess. I saw Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders at the hotel. So that was
how about that?
And I actually bought Michael Irvin a drink. And then after he walked off, I'm like, why did I buy him a drink? He has like $4 million probably in his 13th bank account. What the hell am I buying him a drink for?
Did you talk to him at least?
A little bit. I was kind of nervous. I'm a big Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked for a little bit, had a good time. But yeah, we were there for 6 weeks. And, it was just it was cool, man. Just like I said, everybody there was so talented.
Yeah.
And, it was just cool to be a part of, really cool experience.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I went through that. Then I got close to the blind auditions, and man, it was pretty funny actually. We were when they were announcing, because it went in 4 days, so everybody's trying to figure out the scheme. What's the best day to go? But it was a random drawing, right, of what day you're going to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kept telling everybody, I'm like, the best day is the first day. Like, they're gonna, if you're good. I mean, the teams will fill up, and then somebody has to go home. I mean, you might not be able to, audition.
Yeah.
So anyways, me and Stuart, we got picked on the 4th day. And I was like, well, we're definitely not going to do anything. Like, teams will fill up, And our buddy Neil, he was on the 1st day, and I was like, man, that's a good day to be on. So sat at the hotel for 3 days, me and Stuart, a couple of our buddies.
Drinking beer at the bar.
Drinking beer. So there was nothing else to do, And after that, I guess it was getting close because it was the 3rd day, 2nd or 3rd day, I can't remember. And he said, I'm sitting at the bar having a beer. And one of the producers come running in the hotel, and I'm like, where's David Grace at? And I'm like, here, what's up? Like, you have to come to me right now. I'm like, oh, all right. So, we get in the van, and we're rolling. I'm like, where are we going? So they needed you at the blind audition thing. I was like, well, I don't go till tomorrow. I'm like, oh, you got bumped. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever that means. So at this point, my parents were in town, and my girlfriend at the time was in town. And we meet in this trailer, and I see my parents for the first time, in 6 weeks or whatever. And I see my dad. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? We're sitting down in this nice room. And I was like, hey, Dad, let's go take a dip of snuff. I said, we'll be here for a while. Everything, just hurry up and wait,
Yeah.
That was their line, hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
I said, so we'll be a while. So just got there. Just walked in maybe 2 or 3 minutes. We walk outside. People in L.A. don't know what snuff is, by the way. Pretty funny. They're like, what are you spitting on the ground? That's gross. I was like, I'm from Texas. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So, right when I put one in, I'm talking to my dad. We're just, he's asking me about how it's going. A minute later, another producer runs out. Where's David Grace at? Where's David Grace? I said, I'm right here. What's up? I'm like, yeah, you got to come with me right now. I'm like, what is going on here, And I was mad because I had to throw my dip out. I just put it in.
Yeah.
I threw it out. The producer looked at me like, ooh. It's like, what is that? So
chewing on ants.
So I was like, happening? All right, we start walking, and I'm like, where are we headed? And two guys are going to the blind audition. And I'm like, okay, so am I about to do this? I said, I'm supposed to go tomorrow. And like, no, you got bumped. The teams are filling up. So the producers wanted to get you, at least get you in front of the judges. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And kind of the same situation as my first audition. So I was walking up, you know, there's a line of people that I know all of them at this point. And there's this one girl, she was walking in, and I go, whoop, hold on a minute, Dave has to go. And I was like, and she raised hell. She was like, y'all did this to me yesterday, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm really sorry. So this isn't my doing. She's like, I know. I'm like, all right. So anyways, so during the TV, like the interview process and everything, we always did everything twice. Okay. So you do it, they called it a dry run, and then you go back and then you do it for real, right? So, I mean, I walk in and, you know, they give me my shirt to put on that I'm supposed to wear, and they put a guitar on me, and, you know, I'm like, man. I'm like, I guess it's time to go.
Yeah.
But so I walk up to the stairs, and a lot of producers in this place.
Yeah.
And one of the producers goes, you ready to go? And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I thought we were doing a dry run and then coming back and then doing the real thing. So I was like, yeah, sure. And she goes, you sure are calm? I was like, yeah. I said, I'll be back in a little bit, thinking that we're going to just do it twice, you know?
Yeah.
And, I walked out there, and, you know, it's a big old stadium seating, 400 people out there. And, you know, I just smiled, waved at everybody. I kind of laughed, and I turned around to walk off, and the producer's like, what are you doing? I'm like, that was a dry run, right? She goes, no, this is it. This is your time. And I was like, oh, all right, fine, got it. So I was like, well, all right. So I turned around, went to the mic. I was just kind of laughing. I turned around to the band. I'm like, are you ready to go? Because like all of them were like, where are you going?
Yeah,
you know, this is it. And I'm like, kick it up, you know. So we started, and you know, everybody knows the rest of the sob story there. But yeah, it was cool, man. It was a cool experience. I mean, the band was awesome. It's obviously the wrong song for me, you know. I'm not a Southern rock kind of guy, but
so that's what someone told me, that you didn't get to pick the song.
No, I don't know if they do now. Mm-hmm. I don't know the rules.
Yeah,
know. But back when I was on season 2, they didn't. Well, they acted like they gave you a choice, but you really didn't have a choice. If that makes sense. Like they kind of talked you into it.
Yeah.
See, I'm a psychologist, so I was getting around that bullshit.
You reverse.
I'm like, hold on now. So, anyways, because it's funny because my buddy Neil, he's a rocker, straight rocker, awesome singer, big, huge voice. And they gave him "Heard It Through the Grapevine," and then they give me "Sweet Home
Alabama." Yeah.
And we got our songs, and we're both like,
"You want to swap?"
Yeah, and we tried to. He's like, "Hey, you want this song?" I was like, "I think I do that one better." Because he's straight Southern. He could have slammed that song. He would have made it on the show too. And "Heard It Through the Grapevine," I mean, that's more my style anyway. Mm-hmm. Soul type thing. And we tried, and they're like, "No, we think that y'all should just keep what you have." And man, we argued every day. I know I did. I was like, y'all are screwing me. I said, I ain't gonna make it because of y'all.
What'd they say?
And they were like, no, Dave, because all right. So here's how that actually happened. So on my second deal, we did 3 songs. Or second audition, I did 3 songs. And one of them, they gave me Folsom Prison Blues. But I do my own thing with that, right?
Okay.
And I was like, oh, cool. I don't mind doing that. I'll do my own thing with it, and you know, and all that stuff. So I did it, and like they fell in love with it. They're like, wow, that was really cool what you did with that song. And I was like, thanks, you know, I appreciate that. So that was their same mindset with Sweet Home Alabama. They're like, hey, take Sweet Home Alabama and do the same thing you did with Folsom Prison Blues. But
which you did, you definitely put your own swing on it. Yeah, spin on it.
I did what I could with it. But I told them, I was like, that song is like a Southern anthem.
So iconic and everything, right?
You have to sing it that way or you don't sing it.
Yeah.
I said, pretty much, I'll do what I can with it, which I did. You know, I put my thing on it. I told him every day, I'm like, I'm probably not going to make it. Well, I didn't say that. I said, if I don't make it, it's y'all's fault. I tried to stay positive the whole time. And I said, half America's going to hate this and half of them are going to love it. I said, watch what happens with that. So after the audition, you know, nobody turned. And man, I was pissed.
Hey, you kept your composure up there. You kept a smile on. You presented yourself.
I did not have a smile.
You didn't have a smile?
Hell no.
No, I must be misremembering.
They all turned around, and man, I was pissed. So mad. Because I still thought I did a decent job with the song.
Yeah.
You know? It wasn't bad. And man, I caught so much crap for like my response. Because they told you if you make it or not when the coaches turn around asking what you need to do better and yada yada.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they turned around and they looked at me. I looked at them, and they're like, CeeLo or Blake and Adam. They were both like, I don't know why we didn't turn around. I went, cool. And I'm just sitting there looking at them, and then Christina said something, and then CeeLo was probably the only guy. He just goes, man, that was great. He goes, it just wasn't what I was looking for. He goes, I already got one of those kind of singers or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. I didn't say anything to him. I just kind of nodded my head at him. And then Blake, he was like, yeah, man, you were doing something with your voice. He goes, you were going to these places. It didn't seem right, but it was right. I'm like, oh, that makes a whole lot of sense. So I'm looking at him like, what? So I didn't say 2 words when I was up there.
Yeah.
And I think I leaned into the mic and I was like, y'all done? And they kind of looked at me and I was like, all right. And then I walked off. Man, I caught so much crap for that on the internet. They're like, who does this guy think he is? And all this. I was like, I don't know no story, man.
Yeah.
But, all that happened and, that's my story of The Voice right there.
10-4.
The full thing. But yeah, man, I said, it was a cool experience.
What did it do for you around here? I mean, more gigs, you get more exposure?
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know the capability of what it could have been.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I didn't get the whole national televised thing. Like millions of people seen this thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching it. It was me and my, girlfriend at the time. It was just us two at the house. And it was about to come on. I didn't tell anybody, that I was, because you couldn't tell anybody. They told you, if anybody finds out that you're on The Voice, we'll kick you off the show. So I didn't tell, nobody knew where I was even at for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
My mom and dad and maybe like one friend. And we're just sitting at the house. And I'm like, all right, hey, it's about to come on. We're cooking dinner. And it came on. My phone sat on our end table and just did this. For 10 minutes. I was like, what in the hell? And people I ain't heard from in years and stuff.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, wow. I was like, shit, I'm going to answer all those. And, watched it. And like I said, the phone kept going around. People were calling, left and right. And one of my buddies texted me. Oh, I did text my buddy, Chuck Rice, Chuck Rice. I texted him. I was like, hey, man, watch The Voice. I said, you might recognize somebody that you know on there. And he texted, and I actually got back with him. And, but I told him, I was like, hey, I didn't make it. So he was watching it, and he was texting me. He's like, holy crap. He's like, you really on here? I'm like, yeah, man. And like I watched it, like the judges, how they go on the judges while you're singing the song. And Blake Shelton just hands over it the whole time, and Chuck called me afterward, and he's like, man, he goes, I thought you lied to me. He goes, I was yelling at Blake Shelton and yelling
Press that son of a bitch.
That's how it was, man. It was funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, man, I didn't make it or whatever. But like I said, man, it was a great experience. I don't know if I'd do it again. I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. It's one of them things, but it was fun, man. And like I said, met a lot of good people that I still keep in touch with.
Yeah, that's cool.
I actually just saw Neil about 2 weeks ago. He was on tour coming down through Scout Bar over there.
10-4, yeah.
And man, it's a cool show. Great guy. And yeah, man, that's how it went. So here I sit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but as far as like the next day I went to the grocery store, and like people were like, "Hey, you're the guy on TV."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I was like, is this gonna happen a lot? And it did. Like everywhere I went for probably a month.
Yeah.
It was crazy because it was only like a 6-minute segment. It was not 7-minute segment.
I remember my mom watching it and she had it recorded. She recorded she's a reality TV show gal, right? And so I came in see her one time, and she says, "You remember?" She goes, "You know David Grace?" And my brother's graduated 2004, so he's closer to your age, and so she's asking both of us, "You remember David Grace?" I was like, "The football player?" Like, I knew you from football.
Yeah.
And she's like, "He was on The Voice." I was like, "Shit, I didn't even know he sang."
Nobody does.
And so she's like, "Yeah." She put it on there, and I was like, "Well, let's watch it." And she put it on there. So that's the first time I've seen you sing, and then since I saw you at what's the name of that bar down in Galveston? Woody's with Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we've been following Hunter since he was playing Redfish Roadhouse down on the Chocolate Bayou when I was 16 years old. That's a minute, right?
That's a minute right
there.
But
we've been following Hunter around playing for years, man. So
yeah, they're great, man. What a show they have.
Dude, absolutely, man. Love their stuff. So, every time you came on and played with, not every time, but a lot of times I've seen you was going on there and singing with them guys.
Yeah, man. I've actually never booked a show out at Woody's, but if I was off on a Sunday and they were playing, I'd always go check them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. I'm going to cut one of Hunter's songs on the next record or the one after that. I've always thought it was a killer tune.
Which one?
Here in Texas.
Oh, love it. And dude, that was their best, on their first album, that was my favorite song.
Well, because I asked him, I was like, "Hey, man, you mind if I cut that song?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I don't even like it."
Yeah.
I was like, "Cool, I'll take it."
Yeah, no, it's from...
I've always thought that'd be a hit, man.
Dude, I do too.
Texas.
Well, it went number 4 on Texas charts when they came out, right? Something like that. I read...
that song did?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I don't...
I need to look... I need to research that before I say it. But I want to say it went up the Texas charts like...
I never knew they released it.
Yeah, I came out with that album...
well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, 2009. We're talking 2010. Shit. They're... I can't remember the name of the song. It was the first song on that album was the name of the album. But anyways, yeah, that was the best tune on there in my opinion. But the next albums they started cutting, they went away from... They got more, Southern rock, more bluesy, more, which is great. They play all that stuff great. But that first album was more country songs. And
Ish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whatever you want to call it. The Whiskey Myers type country, right? So, but yeah, that dude, I you know how many of those CDs I bought? Because girls kept stealing it from me. I ain't bullshitting you one. I probably bought 4 or 5 of those CDs because I'd be playing them in my truck.
Well, Hunter would really appreciate it.
He'd be playing it in the truck, and these girls are like, "I really like this song. I really like these guys." And they steal that some bitch from me. I'm like, "God damn." But yeah, man, really love those guys. And then I guess I seen you play with Bree twice. That's recent.
We actually came out, I guess the Texas country scene, whatever. We came out like the same year, 2009 or 10. I think it was 2010.
When did you meet her?
I think it was 2010.
Yeah?
I think.
Just crossing paths, playing
No, we
the same
actually
joint?
had the same booking agent at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And we just met through that. And then we got along real great. So, we did a lot of shows together and at the beginning. And we still do. Every time I see her, she'll always get me up and do something. So, yeah, she's a great girl, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she's a lot of fun. She puts on a heck of a show, too, man.
Oh, she's something else.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah.
She really, like me on stage, I kind of give it to the band more than anything. She's walking around with the cordless, wireless mic and get the crowd into it. I'm like, damn, look at old Bree.
Yeah. No, she gets after it,
superstar.
man. She gets after it. She got good stories, all that stuff. She's pretty good.
Yeah, she's good at what she does, man. Very good.
Who's the coolest cat or you're wide-eyed you've ever played with or opened up for or anything like that where you're just kind of like, damn, really?
I don't know. That's a good question. I can say probably the coolest show I did was over at Nutty Jerry's, and it's near Beaumont, Winnie, Texas.
Not familiar.
It's a huge place, 5,000-6,000 person venue. And I got to open up for Trace Atkins out there. And let me tell you, that's a large human being, for God's sakes. So it was funny. So we did that show. And we were sound check. Of course, I get the flu that day. I never get sick ever.
Yeah.
I show up, man, my eyes running, snot's coming out of my nose, coughing, but never cancel the show. So I'm like, screw it, we'll just go out and get after it. And we get through sound checking, and I'm walking outside to do something, and right when I go to open the door, Trace Atkins opens it, and I was like, Oh, man, he scared the ever-living shit out of me. I mean, he's just a big old dude, man. I mean, he's like 6'7",
no
like
shit,
260.
God damn.
Man, he ain't got no fingers and stuff. Scary, man. I was like, oh. And my first words were, I was like, oh, damn. He goes, you all right? And you're all right?
Yeah, that big old deep voice,
deep
right?
voice. I was like, oh, yeah, man, sorry. I didn't mean to get in your way or whatever. And, he walks off, and that was a cool show. And, man, it was cool. It's like a stadium seating, all them people there. And, man, we rocked it. It was pretty as good as it could have gone with me being sick and all that. But, man, I had a great time. And he ended up giving me a shout-out during his show. I thought that was really cool of him. So, yeah, that's probably the coolest show I've done up to this point. But, I've done a lot of good ones, though. I will say that. I've been fortunate enough to sit around and pick with some really good players.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
How'd your band come together? I mean, how'd we piece that together?
A band. I don't think I've ever had a set group of cats in my 10-year career.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's been my thing, man.
You just piecing them together as you go?
Just piecing them as we go. I think the longest I went, I think Hunter was taking a break or something. He moved to Austin, so his band was just at the house. And I'm like, hey, just come on with me. So we played together we had a killer show. I thought it was awesome. For about 2 years, and then Hunter came back, and then they started doing their thing with the New Offenders.
Yeah.
And after that, I just kind of pieced them together. I try to find players that kind of fit my style and all that. But really, man, the last 2 years, I've been really I stopped playing local, like the local dives and all that, and really been focusing on getting this money for the new record. Mm-hmm. So I just been doing a lot of private events and liquor rep stuff and all that, traveling a lot, just trying to find the money for the record, investment-wise. And that's pretty much what I've been doing the last 2 years. And I got lucky enough, found someone who was really interested and got to cut it,
Hell yeah. What all goes, I mean, how long you been writing these songs, practicing these songs, doing these songs, put on the record? I mean, what does that look like?
Well, this record, some of the songs I've written years ago. Mm-hmm. One of them I wrote a couple months ago, One of them I didn't even write. So, yeah, man, it's just, it's been, 8-9 years since I released the studio album, Mm-hmm. So I've been playing these songs and writing all this stuff and practicing and playing them at shows for, all these years.
You got them where you want them.
So, yeah, man, like we went in and, we knocked it out, lickety-split. But, man, it came together really good, though, man. It sounds great. Good, man. When's it coming out? That's a good question. Now, the reason we haven't set a release date is that it came out like, I couldn't be more happy with it, but everybody is like, okay, we need to shop this thing, right? Okay. So my producer / drummer / harmony singer, he's like, yeah, we got to really get this out to the right people first. Let's see who wants to get on board with you. So I'm like, yeah. I was like, that's kind of my idea anyway. So we're not in a huge hurry to release it. I mean, I want to get it out as quick as possible, obviously. Yeah.
But, so shop it out. You're trying to find a record deal to go with it? Or,
no, I'm not real big on record deals. I've actually gotten offered a handful of them. And just, I guess when singers sign them things, they don't read them. But I read them. And I'm like, you're not keeping 80% of my money, Yeah. I mean, sure, if it's $10 million, you get $2 million, but it's like, that ain't too bad.
But the odds of that hitting.
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And plus, they tell you what to do, what to sing, what to wear. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, So I turned down at least 3 or 4.
So the independent artist kind of regime happening, it's pretty prominent here in Texas, right?
I would say the last 3 to 4 years, pretty much since streaming came out and then YouTube got popular and then social media got popular. Yeah. I don't see why. I mean, excuse me. The only reason I would get on a label is because they're obviously your investor,
mm-hmm.
And they'll put $1 million into you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they want to keep all your money.
Yeah.
Which is fine because they're putting up that $1 million for you. But I mean, you can release a video to YouTube, put it on Facebook, and you can get 2 million hits. And then
make money off of that.
You make money off that, and
people come to your shows.
Come to your shows, and then you're making money off ticket sales because that's the only way you make money anyway these days. So I think the formula is simple. me and a lot of my friends talk about it. You know, like the whole Cody Johnson thing, and
Josh him, Aaron Watson, and Cody Jinks all just signed right recently, like the last 2 months.
Yeah, but that's not like a regular deal.
Correct. I was reading on that.
It's a partnership.
Exactly.
Very, very smart. Very
smart.
Very
I was pretty impressed when I was reading that. I saw that they signed record deals, and I went on there and looked at it, and it was Texas Monthly Magazine, I think, put out the article, and it says. The title was like, why these record deals aren't really record deals. And you go on and read it, and it's exactly what you say. It's a partnership. They're not necessarily cutting albums through these guys and all that stuff. They're just, I don't know exactly. I didn't quite get exactly what they're getting from it, but it was mostly an article about what they're not giving the
they're
record
pretty
people.
much, I mean, from what I read and what I just kind of came to the conclusion of is, they're going to put him on a national stage, like a national level, or maybe like even a worldwide level, and they're going to pay to promote that, and then they'll get whatever their percentages are back from. Obviously, he sells out freaking wherever he goes.
Yeah.
So like they're going to get their money back, regardless.
Yeah.
So
especially
that's kind of the deal. I think
those three guys.
I might be totally wrong though. I have no idea.
Yeah, but I thought it was pretty. I thought, like, Bree touched on a little bit too, being an independent artist and what all that means. And one of my favorite Aaron Watson songs is Old Fence Post in Texas. And it's basically about his trip to Nashville, where they were told him he wasn't good enough. And then he went home and kept playing and made it. And then they came back and said, well, we want to give you a deal. And he's like, nah, I'd rather be an Old Fence Post in Texas than King of Tennessee.
There you go.
I love that line, man.
Yeah, that's a great line.
It's interesting about all that, and I recently just kind of watched. I've talked about it on here a couple times, but it's such a good show. Everybody needs to watch it. There's a animated cartoon by Mike Judge, the guy who did King of the Hill and all that shit, where it's called Tales from the Tour Bus, and it's 1960s, 70s, 80s outlaw country guys, George Jones, Waylon Jennings. Jerry Lee Lewis, a bunch of guys like that. He's got like 10 episodes, and he has the bandmates, the people that were playing the band with him, with these guys, and wives and lawyers and whatever, and they're all animated talking about these old stories of these old country singers shooting shit and getting in fights and like wild coke drugs and all the drugs, every bit of them.
All the drugs.
all of them.
The drugs.
But it's funny, man. But the one with Waylon Jennings, I knew Waylon and Willie were kind of like the trendsetters of the independent music or whatever in the Texas scene, but I didn't really understand to what extent until I watched that show when they talked about it and explained it.
And watch that show.
Yeah, it's funny and it's fascinating. Actually, it's pretty educational as well in that sense. But it's been. I've gotten more and more interested in that since I find myself digging deeper into this music scene.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the big reasons starting this podcast. A dream of mine, if this thing went 100%, I'd like Texas musicians, independent artists, whatever the case, come on here, talk about your album, and let's release it and get people talking about it.
Right.
That's like a dream. I would like to be the place considered to the stop to let's go talk about our album on the Lone Star Podcast so we can get some music sales out of it,
Sure.
So was one of the intentions of starting this thing, is because I enjoy the music so much. The people are great. The old dirty honky tonk bars. I mean, that's my kind of shit, right?
Yeah. That's great, man. No, we appreciate you doing it, man.
Yeah, absolutely,
awesome.
Man. Absolutely. So with this new album coming out, are you touring anywhere outside of Texas, or is it just all Texas right now?
It's mainly Texas. I'll say that. I've done some one-offs in Colorado and New Mexico and stuff like that. But, really, I'm not really looking to get into the Texas country market.
Where are you trying to get?
Not there. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, I've tried it. I mean, like, I've released songs, released records, and that I thought were good. And I don't know if it's just a politic game or a money game. It's mainly money, and politics. But I don't know, man. I've met a lot of really cool people, but I've tried to meet a lot of people, and they just, kind of brushed me off in the scene. And I'm like, they don't like rub me wrong, because they, talk to 1 million people a day.
Yeah, yeah.
Why they want to talk to me. But I don't think I've ever really been like accepted in that market, and I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm not country like anymore, but I don't know. We're gonna try to just try a different market, man. A big influence of mine is Mark Broussard. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, Home.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that song.
But I'm gonna try to get into like his genre or his spectrum of booking shows and all that stuff. So we're gonna try to get with his team, but just that kind of style of music, just the soul funk side,
Who's the band Heathens? That's kind of that same. No, is it the band Heathens? Sings Hurricane.
No, who is that?
Why
is
am
that
I?
them?
I'm pretty sure it's the band Heathens.
No, it is. I think you're right. No, that's great though.
But them guys are kind of
like I mean, that's still considered like a Texas country red dirt type thing. Like my stuff, man, it's
your soul. It's all soul.
It's straight soul. Man.
It's all soul.
Because people ask me what my genre is, and now I just say soul. I used to call it soul country, which it still kind of is. Like some of my songs are still country-ish, but I mean, I'm kind of just going to that route. So we're gonna pretty much just try to shop it. We're gonna try to stay in the Texas scene if they want me. I think the Texas music radio, like all the charts and stuff, that's another story. But I know all the main stations, like the ones in Austin and Lubbock and Fort Worth and all that. I know those DJs, so pretty much what I'm gonna do is just send my album to them,
straight to them,
and tell them and say, this is the song that we want to release. If you like it, play it. If you don't, hope you like the album.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're gonna try to get with Mark's people and some different bands of that genre, and just see if they can get us on with their promotion people or publicist or possibly get on a tour, anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm trying to go a totally different direction on it.
So who's some other guys in that genre that we may know? I'm thinking this is old school. Shit, I'm gonna draw a blank on it. Of course. Pull out my phone, David Grace. You're gonna make me pull out my phone.
Well, I actually just got turned on to this band called Lake Street Dive. I don't know if you've heard of them. Oh man, it's fantastic, and they're doing pretty much the same exact thing that I'm doing on my album. So that's another band that we're gonna try to get with their team and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of it's a different market because it's not like on the radio. What I mean?
Well, yeah.
A lot of it.
Stuff on the radio doesn't really.
But like I said, man, I mean, these days, I mean, I think YouTube's the new radio, And
it's pretty smart.
If you get your stuff out there and promote it the right way to the right conglomerate of people, I mean, you can make a living, touring. And you don't really need a genre of music. If people like your music and they become fans, then they'll just come out and see you play,
So I'm thinking of two. Daryl Scott, you ever heard of him?
Yes.
He's kind of he's got a song called shit. You're gonna make me look it up again. my memory's bad.
Google King. Man.
I'm telling you. Well, I got him on my songs here. And the other Fleetwood Mac, the old one I was thinking of. They kind of those.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. That's funny you brought that up. Her producer contacted me not too long ago. That produced Fleetwood Mac.
Really?
So that's another, like, we're going to send an album to him,
Yeah.
See what he thinks about it. So, yeah, man, we got some stuff going on. Just, the album's actually taking a lot longer to finish than what I thought, but, we're just trying to make sure it's right,
Yeah.
It really did come out, man. The guys I had play on it, and Lyndon Hughes is actually who produced it, and it just came out great. I couldn't be more happy with it.
Where was the studio at? Where's the studio?
It's right there off of I-10 and the Beltway on the west side.
Okay.
Like going towards Katy.
Okay.
Stormy Cooper Media.
Stormy Cooper Media. 10-4.
And Stormy is Kreger's bass player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great guy. Awesome guy.
Hell yeah.
Good studio. Great studio.
That's, if I knew anything about producing music, I'd love to get into it, but I don't know shit about it. So I'm going to stay here with my little microphones. That's like, music's always been a big influence for me, man. I've always loved it, especially, like I said, the Texas country, going watching shows, doing the honky. That's Friday night, Saturday night don't get much better for me than sitting and listening to an acoustic show and somebody getting after it. And so as I'm getting older and starting to want to do shit that I enjoy rather than doing stuff to make money, right? Mm-hmm. I keep leaning toward. I keep trying to find myself trying to get back in there, and I can't hold a tune in a 5-gallon bucket, as my dad would say, and I can't sing worth shit. So I don't know. I'm trying to get on it some way, but
you got a good start here.
Yeah. So what's the perfect scenario for the album? I mean, what would happen in your dream world?
Well, what I would like to happen is just get with the right promotion people. I would love to get on a tour with Mark Broussard. I mean, I think that'd be a killer show. He actually called me about 2 or 3 months ago. Like, actually, I talked to him on the phone. Kind of crazy. He was like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Because I guess a friend of mine sent him like a real rough copy of one of the songs on the record." And he called and he's like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "I'm digging what you're doing." He goes, "Once it gets done, let's try to hook up and see what we can do as far as getting you on with some of my people, and then we can get together and write." And I'm like, "Wow, man, yeah, sounds great. Let's do it." So I'm just hoping I get it to them and they like it, and just give it the right promotion people and get on a tour, and get it started. That's pretty much what I've been thinking the whole time. And once we get on tour, we'll gain some fans, and hopefully it just keeps snowballing from there.
That'd be badass. Where's Broussard playing at? He's on
a national tour.
Yeah, he's just city.
He's actually playing in the Woodlands tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I might go up there and see him tomorrow. But yeah, he's on a national tour. I think he's all over the nation, and then he goes across seas and all that stuff. So he does pretty well.
Hell yeah. Have you heard of this, the Red Dirt Pub Crawl in Ireland?
Yes. Man, I would like to be on that.
Dude, I want to go so stinking bad. I don't think we'll be able to swing it this year, but me and the wife are going to make a trip.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And because I think we're going to Steamboat this year. It'll be my first trip to Steamboat.
Oh, you'll love that.
I know it. I know it. You'll love all of it, I promise.
You won't know what to do with yourself up there, man.
So I work in the plants, right? I work turnarounds in January since the last 8 years. Mm-hmm. So since I found out about Steamboat, I've been working every time I can't go. And so this will be the first January I'm off.
Awesome, man.
And I'm like, babe, Colorado.
Well, I look forward to seeing you, my man.
You going to be up there too?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I know there's a big group of Santa Fe boys go up there. Been for a long time, man.
10, 11 years
Yeah,
now.
I know.
They've gone every year.
I know.
Crazy. I've actually only been gone this will be my third or fourth year that I've been.
That's my boy Cody. Cody Gaspar has been.
Man.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's my man right there.
He rubs it in every time we go. He sends me pictures and talking shit. He's been rubbing it in for a while now. I gotta get out there.
We have too much of a good time when we go out there.
I'm telling you. Where's your favorite spots to play? Who's got the best venues around? Who treats you the best? Where's your favorite joint?
Do-Si Do in the Woodlands.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my favorite room I've played. People are great. Hospitality just off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Redneck Country Club.
Yep.
That's really the sound there is just pretty much unmatched anywhere. It's crazy. Sean and Dylan do a really good job out there.
Yeah, that's a hot spot up there, man. They got a lot of good shows.
I'd say that's probably only two in Houston or around the Houston area that I really like. Let's see. Man, it's been a while since I've actually gotten out and played venues. It's been a while.
All the private events.
I mean, that's all I've been doing for like almost 2 years now. I'll just go with those two for now.
Tenfold. Like good enough. Good enough.
If I think of one, I'll bring it up.
Tenfold.
Yeah, but those two are great. Moe's Place, that's a cool room.
Moe's Place, you said? Mm-hmm. Where's that at?
Over in Katy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised you hadn't heard of that.
No, I have. My wife's tried to drag me out there a couple times, see some people, and I hadn't made it yet.
I'd say the hospitality at Moe's, Moe, the owner,
mm-hmm.
man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And, he takes care of you though, man. He's a real nice guy.
You ever got into some hairy shit out there on the road? We can talk about the scumbags that broke into your car a couple weeks back, but I mean, as far as any wild outlaw shit.
Probably not appropriate for anybody to figure out or find out, but No, we've been on the road, man. We've had some stories, man. It's been fun, man. It's been a crazy ride, to tell you the truth. It's nothing's ever really gone my way as far as, getting the right venues at the right times and, all that stuff. But guys we traveled with, we too many memories to,
Yeah. Trying to single one out. I got you.
It's fun, man. It's just being on the road's a different life, man. It's something you either really enjoy or you really don't. You got to be a different cat to actually do it. So,
yeah.
Me personally, I love it. I like seeing new places, different people, but I also like being home too. When I had one. So, but yeah, man, plenty of stories. Probably not too good to talk about on the radio or the podcast. But
yeah, we'll
a lot of fun stuff.
We'll tell off air. No big deal. Yeah. That's good, man. Well, we're about an hour into this thing. What do you say we play a little tune and get out of here?
Yeah, man.
Well, what are you gonna play?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it really.
I hadn't either. I know. So your take on Seven Spanish Angels is amazing. And
that was all Jody and Bree. I was just there.
What is the name of the song? Baby, you look good on me.
I would look good on you.
There you go.
There you go. You want to hear that one?
You know how often I sing that song in my head? Like I'm just sitting walking around like, baby, I would look good. I just started spontaneously singing it since I heard it, man. It's a great tune.
Awesome tune, man. It's actually funny story with that song. So when I was on The Voice, I met this guy named Tony Luca. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Sounds familiar.
Tony Luca. He's like in soul market, I guess, or pop, something like that.
Yeah, Luca sounds familiar.
We were talking one day at the bar, and he was like, yeah, man. He goes, you need to look up this guy named Ernie Halter. And this is in 2012. So I went back to the room, and I looked him up. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, he's badass. Real good. Never thought of it again. Like, didn't revisit it, nothing. And about a year or two ago, I was sitting at the house, and a YouTube thing, like, notification popped up on my phone, and I don't have notifications on my phone, so that doesn't happen. But it said, Ernie Halter, I would look good on you. And I'm like, oh, that's the guy, Luca told me about.
Yeah.
So I listened to it, and man, I was just floored. I was like, wow. And like, I've researched, so I'm like, is this guy like famous, whatever? And, he's just regular old Joe, up in Ohio. And I'm like, how is it? I'm like, man, this is great. I mean, he's a great singer, great picker. I mean, just an all-around great musician. He seems like a real nice guy. And I learned that song in 15 minutes, man. Like,
wow.
I'm like, man, this is just a song that I'm going to cut, and we're going to do something with this.
Yeah, dude, it's a good tune, man.
Straight up my alley.
Yes.
It's my style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, great tune.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you tell everybody where they can follow you on all the social media and all that stuff, where we can look for your album coming out, and we'll go ahead and play you out, and we'll end it with a song, man.
Yeah, everything's David Grace Music. So all social media is David Grace Music on every handle that there is. Website, davidgracemusic.com. We'll more than likely get the record out this year. I would say late September, October, somewhere around there. Hopefully. And trust me, everybody will see it, because we got some money behind this thing. So,
good, man. Good.
A little bit of money. So, yeah, just keep an eye out. I usually keep my social medias updated pretty well. Oh, I try to. That's a lie. I really don't. I really try to, man, but I just
going to when that album comes out.
Yeah,
just take it.
Yeah, we got that. But yeah, like I said, everything's David Grace Music, so it's all easy to find.
Awesome, man. Well, y'all go follow him. Look out for his album coming out later on this year. David, thank you for coming on, my man.
No, thanks for having me out, brother.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Take it away, brother.
Walked in on you dancing, clothes scattered on the mat humming your get ready song. White towel and low makeup, watching you get made up. Baby, we'll stay where we are. I can't help but want you, I can't help but try. I got something for you, I think will fit you just right. Baby, I will look good on you. Come on and try me on and see if it's true. Ooh, baby, I will look good on you. I think that you will look good on me too. I wanna be your black dress, hold you like a silhouette, but trace you with my fingertips. Oh yeah, I wanna be your summer wind, kissing on your skin. I can be the rain on your lips. I can't help but want you, I can't help but try. I wanna be the moonlight shining in your eyes. Baby, I will look good on you. Come on and try me on, see if it's true. Ooh, baby, I will look good on you. I think that you will look good on me too. I will look good on you. Come on and try me on and see if it's true. Do, baby, I would look good on you. I think that